If you're your own business, you may be missing out on the value that strategic content can bring you. Everyone tells you that views matter, likes matter, follows matter, all that stuff. And maybe you have to post videos with trending audio or something. But I'm here to say, screw the view. But before I tell you anything about strategic content, I think it's important that we go over what content actually is. Content in its most basic form is getting to know somebody without actually getting to know them. Content can be entertaining, informative, and it can also be a place that you can educate people on various things. This is like the new language of the 21st century. Now, since we know what content is, how can we systematize it into someone's business? Well, we can systemize this content by bucketing content. So if these are your buckets, you might be thinking, what the hell does a bucket have to do with content? Each bucket represents an umbrella term or umbrella topics that you would talk about in your content. Each bucket has its purpose and job to talk to the audience that you're trying to sell to. So this one's credibility and authority. This one's practical. And then this one's branding. All three of these are speaking to someone that is potentially wanting to work with you. Through credibility and authority content, you can educate that lead or prospect that may want to work with you on why you know what you're talking about. These are the experiences that I've had. This is the credentials I have. And I can explain in a digestible way to you what exactly I do. Practical is content that can help your leads or prospects or audience implement what you do into their daily lives, right? So if like there's an insurance company, one might be in 2026, these rules are getting passed. So this is what you might want to know. If you're an IT company, you might want to do, these are the top 5 things not to do when you're on the internet. And then branding, you're building up who you are. This type of content is for someone who's really interested in working with you, right? So it's who you are, why you even started, and what makes you different. All of this content is to help the customer understand what you do, why you're good at it, and why they should work with you. All right, next one. Now that we talked about buckets and how bucketing your content can help you talk to the audience that you're trying to, what's the purpose of doing all this? It's to differentiate yourself from your competitors. It's to be transparent with your customers, and it's to build credibility with your audience. You want to be different from your competitor, your competition. You want to be different than what the industry standard is. And you want to be different in the way of how you stand out by being yourself in the field that you're in. By being transparent, customers know that you can do it. That's the most important thing, that they know that you know what you're talking about. Some of the content, they might not understand a word you are saying. Maybe it's like some technical jargon that only the backroom people know. But they look at you and say,
wow, this guy knows enough to make a video and put it out on the internet.
or whatever you're hosting your video on. You also want to develop transparency because, like I said, with practical content, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. Same thing with customers. If you teach them all the stuff that you know and you make the effort to show them that you care about them and you care about their problem and you're trying to help them understand what their problem is and how you can help, they're going to keep coming back to you. They're going to want to refer you. They're going to want to send people your videos. Here's a fish. Next, having a strategic content plan can build you credibility. You build credibility through your content and through being consistent, by educating the audience that you're trying to talk to. And by building these two things and through your credibility, I bet you a lead would pick someone with the resources and the tools and the knowledge through content over someone who doesn't. So now that we've covered the buckets of content, the purpose of content, now let's talk about why the content. Content grows as your business grows. Your video assets about your business, what you know about it, your experiences, your knowledge is all archived and compounding over consistency, over years of doing this thing and building something that grows with your business. I guess why is more of a question that business owners should be telling themselves. Some of them might be making short form content, which is great. I think anybody should be making content to help their businesses, but a lot of them fall short of what it can be. Why are they making that content? Is it to educate somebody? Is it just to make somebody laugh or giggle or something? Or is it who you want to be to your customer? Who do you want the lead to expect on the other side of the table when they're meeting with you? So in this video, we talked about why bucketing your content helps you. It helps you speak to your audience in different ways, right? One way is through getting to know you through your brand, educating them and building credibility or authority, or giving them practical advice that they can implement into their daily life. And then we did the purpose of content, which is to differentiate yourself from your competitors. It's to build transparency with your audience. And again, it's to build credibility with them as well. And then the last thing we talked about was the why, to archive what you have built. I hope that this video helped you understand a little bit about what content is and what strategic content planning is, or what strategic content is. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, or don't. Do whatever you want. I hope that you learned something.